but I'm glad to be here. 1 Samuel chapter 18. 1 Samuel chapter 18. If you dare, go ahead and holler back word. 1 Samuel chapter 18, reading particularly at verse number 1. Now when he had finished speaking to Saul, the soul of Jonathan was knit to the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. Saul took him that day and would not let him go home to his father's house anymore. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul. And Jonathan took off the robe that was on him and gave it to David with his armor, even his sword and his bow and his belt. So David went out wherever Saul sent him and behaved wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servant. Now it happened as they were coming home, when David was returning from the slaughter of the Philistine, that the women had come out of all the cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tambourine, with joy, and with musical instrument. To the women sang, or the women holler as they danced and said, Saul has slain his 1,000 and David his 10,000. Then Saul was very angry, and the saying displeased him. And he said, they have ascribed to David 10,000, and to me they have ascribed only 1,000. It's like somebody got 10,000 followers and you just got 1,000 on Facebook. Now what more can he have but the kingdom? So Saul eyed David from that day forward. And it happened on that next day that the distressing spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied inside the house. So David played music with his hand at another time, but there was a spear in Saul's hand. And Saul cast the spear, for he said, I will pin David to the wall. But David escaped his presence. And Saul cast the spear, for he said, I will pin David to the wall. But David escaped his presence twice. On your way to your seat, give them your sermon title and tell them the flip side, the flip side. You may be seated in the presence of God. At the flip side, you may be seated in the presence of God. I know many of you love the story of David. Everybody who's been in church for at least 1 day or 2 days, you know the story of David. David is the man who moved from the bottom. He started from the bottom and made his way to the top. David started as being a nobody and becomes a somebody. David moved from not even being known by anybody, but because of one opportunity. Somebody say one opportunity. From one opportunity, David climbs the ladder of success. One opportunity can take you from a nobody to somebody. One opportunity can open a door that you never imagined or dreamed. One opportunity can drop you at Woman Thou Art Loose or Mega Fest. One opportunity can make you the next president of the United States of America. One opportunity can move you from a nobody to somebody. Just one opportunity. And somebody this week, the Lord already told me to tell you that opportunity is coming. That this week you are going to get an opportunity to go where you've never gone before, so you can do what you've never done before, so you can see what you've never seen before, so you can have what you never had before. I had that opportunity in 1985 when I came to this country. It was one opportunity. I came to this country with $32 in my pocket, one suitcase and one pair of shoes. I had one opportunity with $32 in my pocket given to me by the people in my village, because every year they will pick one girl to leave the little village called Laventille on the island of Trinidad. They gather $32, put it in my hand, put one pair of shoes, one suit in a suitcase, and they give me an opportunity of a lifetime. I came to this country with $32 in my pocket with a big dream, so I can go to school. I took advantage of the opportunity that has been given to me. Somebody said that PAUSE stands for passing over opportunities regularly. My God, what did I say? POUR. Somebody holler POUR. POUR stands for passing over opportunities regularly. The reason why some of us remain poor is because we pass over opportunities not once, not twice, but regularly. But because we serve a God of grace, the same opportunity that He gave you last year, it's coming back this year. The same opportunity that you missed 5 years ago, it's coming back. The opportunity to own your home during when the interest rate was lower, the interest rate is going to come back down and you're going to own. Oh my God, who am I talking to? Because God is a God of a second chance. God is a God of a third chance. God is a God of a fourth chance. And POUR is passing over opportunities regularly. Now you may not have known that you pass over an opportunity because opportunity comes in the form of opposition. My God, I said opportunity comes in the form of opposition. You don't even know it's an opportunity because it presents itself as an opposition. It presents itself as an obstacle. Opportunities come in the form of challenges. That's how David stepped into the opportunity. Saul is the appointed king, but David has the anointment. Saul is the current king. David is just a shepherd boy attending to his father's flock, and his dad gives him a small assignment. All I need you to do, David, is go buy some Chick-fil-A and take it to your brothers. Hello, somebody. I want you to go take your brothers some lunch. Take them some Big Mac, some KFC, some Popeyes. And as David is obeying the small assignment, he stepped into a big opportunity. Y'all gotta catch it. He stepped in. It looked like a small assignment. Go pick up that preacher. Go encourage that minister. Call that person on the phone. But you see it as a small assignment. It's beneath you. But you don't even know it's a big opportunity. Hello, somebody. Hand somebody a glass of water. Say hi to somebody. And you don't even know that you might be sitting next to a millionaire who's about to pay your bills. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to put a smile on your face because you don't have no clue who is sitting next to you that God might use to bless you. Who am I talking to? Look at your neighbor and say, you better act like you're glad you're sitting next to me because God might use me to pay your tuition. He may use me to pay your scholarship. He may use me to give you a Mercedes. You ought to act like you're glad to sit next to me. Look down your row and said, let me just check my pew. Because I'm not trying to sit next to nobody that when I break out in a shout, they look at me all crazy. Look at your neighbor and say, if you ain't been through nothing, just sit there and look cute. But if you've been to hell and back and you woke up this morning, you ought to open your mouth. I'm going to give you an opportunity to get the devil a migraine. I said I'm going to give you an opportunity to give the devil a nervous breakdown by opening your mouth. Don't you despise small beginning. Oh my goodness. I was driving my pastor, Dr. Charles Edward Booth, when I got the invitation to preach at the Hampton Ministers Conference. I was driving him to Hampton, and the way I served the man in the seat that I wanted, oh God, you ain't ready for it until you can serve the person in the seat that you want. You want this, you got to serve me to get it. Look at your neighbor and say, you want some of this? The door to opportunity begins with service. Oh. And nothing is worse than when you're serving the person who's got the appointment, but you got the anointment. God help me. Oh, nothing is worse than, oh my God, that you're serving the person who's trying to kill you, God. You got to serve the boss coffee when you know you're more qualified than them. You're more gifted than them. You're more anointed than them. But God will let you serve the people who can't can't stand you because he's building your character, my God. Because charisma will get you in the door, but character will keep you there. Look at your neighbor and say, I know you got charisma, but do you have character? I know you got a shout, but do you have integrity? I know you got a smile, but do you have substance? I know you can speak in tongues, but can you say good morning in English? Look at your neighbor and say, do you have character? David is serving the man who is occupying his seat. David is serving the man who hates on him. And God gives David an opportunity by simply taking his brothers to lunch. And while he takes the lunch to his brothers, he sees Goliath, he hears Goliath, and he opens his mouth and he said, I'm going to kill Goliath. David gets a smooth stone and he throws it. And y'all know the story. Come on, sit down. We're just talking. And he throws that stone and he knocks out Goliath. He threw that stone because he understands that he's got faith. He threw that stones and he knocks out Goliath. That's 1 Samuel chapter 17. He kills Goliath, cuts Goliath's head off with the sword, ran back into the city like Donald Lawrence and said, giants do die. The bigger they are, come on up in here. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's 1 Samuel chapter 17. That's where we see the rise of David. That's where we see the success of David. And if I had time, I would tell you there's some key things that made David successful. And that is because David was prepared. Because success is part preparation and success is part anticipation. Young people, don't miss that. Success is part preparation and success is part anticipation. You're not ready for success until you first anticipate it and then you prepare for it. Where the young people at? That's why your first 25, it's all about learning. Your second 25, it's about earning. Oh God. Oh, come on. My first 25, it's about learning. My second 25, it's about earning. I wish I had some 40-year-old up in here. Say, I'm about to earn it. Come on. Where y'all at? Hey, my first 25, it's about. My second 25, it's about earning. My third 25, I'm about to be sowing. Hello, somebody. And that's why your biggest givers are between 50 and 75. Because the first 25 ain't got nothing. They're learning everything. But my goodness, as soon as you hit your first 25, I prophesied to a 40-year-old in here. You're about to earn what your mama didn't earn. You're about to earn what your daddy didn't earn. Is there any young adult in here? Success, somebody holler success. Success is part preparation, say preparation. And success is part anticipation, say anticipation. Now, I love John Maxwell's definition of success. John Maxwell said success is knowing your purpose, maximizing your potential, and sowing seed that benefits others. Come on, sit down. Do I need to say that again? Okay, yeah. Success is knowing your purpose. And I added to John Maxwell, I said it's not just knowing your purpose, it's knowing who you are. Hello, sir. Because success, you become it before you do it. Hello, somebody. Yeah, you are what you are. So success is knowing your purpose. It is maximizing your potential. And it is sowing seed to benefit others. Success is not just all about you. Success is knowing your purpose. It's maximizing your potential and sowing seed that benefit others. Because success without a successor is still a failure. That's why you got to give it up for the former pastor. Because you know Pastor Jenkins was successful because he found a successor. Success is knowing your purpose. It's maximizing your potential. It is sowing seed that benefits benefits others. And when you're successful as a person, you can reach back and find a Reginald Sharp, because successful people are not intimidated by David. God help me up in here. I said successful people are not scared of gifted people. Hello, somebody. Successful people are not nervous that other people can sing better than them, because the sign that you're spiritually mature is you will shout over your neighbor's miracle. I'm going to give y'all 10 seconds to holler right there and say, neighbor, this shout is for your miracle. It's for your breakthrough. It's for your blessing. It's for your deliverance. Somebody open your mouth and holler for your neighbor's man. Holler for your neighbor's money. Holler for your neighbor's Mercedes. Open your mouth, throw your head back, and look at your neighbor and say, this shot is for your stuff. I ain't even hollering over my stuff. I'm hollering over your stuff. I'm hollering over your man while I'm single. I'm hollering over your $1 million while I'm broke. I'm hollering over your house while I'm in a hoopty. Somebody open your mouth and holler for your neighbor. Look at your neighbor and say, there ain't no haters up in here. Come on, say, don't hate on me, celebrate. Hello. Success is knowing your purpose, maximizing your personality and your potential, and sowing seed that benefits others. And when you look at David, David did all that. David knew his purpose. He maximized his potential, and he sowed seed that benefit others. He kills a lion, he kills a bear, and he kills Goliath. And by the time we get to the end of 1 Samuel chapter 17, David, who started from the bottom, is on his way to the top. David, who started as a nobody, is now a somebody. David, who was in the backside of the mountain playing the organ, is getting ready to become king over Israel. And the Bible said in 1 Samuel chapter 18, that's our text, that Saul would not let David go back home anymore. Saul would not let David go back home. And David and Jonathan become bosom buddy or covenant relationship. I prophesied before this year is over, God is going to send you destiny helpers. Okay, y'all missed it. I didn't say church members. I said destiny helpers. Oh, he's about to send somebody to give you an opportunity. I'm about to open a door for you. He's going to send you some destiny helpers, because as gifted as you are, you cannot get to your destiny by yourself. I know you live in the me, myself, and I will. But oh God is going to use somebody to open that door for you. God is going to use somebody to give you that interview. God is going to use somebody to give you scholarship. I know you had crazy helpers, but destiny helpers is coming. I know you had jealous helpers, but destiny helpers is coming. Look at your neighbor and say, I may be your destiny helper. I may be assigned to help you get to where you need to get to. I may be your birth mother. I may be the spiritual person. I may be your midwife. Push on their back and say, I may be the person that is assigned that when I open my mouth this time, you are going to get to where you need to get to. Look down your row and make sure you check your row, because we only got 10 minutes to go. And say, neighbor, I ain't trying to sit next to nobody who's trying to hinder me. I need somebody to help me. When I think of the goodness of Jesus and all that he's done for me, I need somebody to open your mouth, throw your head back, and tear the roof off of this place. I need somebody to open your mouth. Help me lift him up. Help me praise him. Help me bless. And Saul would not let David go back home anymore. And when you get to 1 Samuel 18, it is the flip side of chapter 17. On chapter 17, David is on his way up. But now that he's on the top, there are some things that is happening in David that I thought I needed to share with you because number one, you're on your way up. Oh my God. I said you're on your way up. And you ain't got time to learn the lesson when you get to the top. Hello, somebody. So God told me to give you a preview of a coming attraction. He told me to forewarn you what you can expect as you're on your way to the top. I don't know when you're going to get there. I don't know how you're going to get there. But I know you're going to get there. I don't know when you're going to get there. I don't know how you're going to get there. But I know you're going to get there because your victory is guaranteed. Your elevation is promised. Your position is secured by the blood. A whole bunch of people came before you, but nobody can beat you. Oh, a whole lot of people try to get what you got. Don't worry, God got you. Because it may not be your time, it may be your turn. It may be your turn, it may not be your time. But when it's your time and your turn, ain't no devil can stop you. The stars lines up. The moon will line up. Your haters will line up to bless you. Slap five with your neighbor, say, it's my time and my turn. It's my season. I need somebody to take 5 steps for 5 smooth stones. Just take 5 steps and say, I just stepped into my destiny. I just stepped into my purpose. I just stepped into my assignment. I need somebody to holler, I'm here. Oh, I'm here to maximize my moment. Oh, well, what happens? What happens when David kills Goliath? That's chapter 18. And the Bible said that David cannot go back home anymore. So there's a couple of things I want to share with y'all before I get out of here. And that is while success will bring popularity, it also brings confinement. What did I say? Success. David becomes the most popular guy after killing Goliath. But the text says, and Saul would not let David go back home anymore. Oh my God. Saul would not let David go back home no more. He just left home to take his brother some lunch. The job was drop off the Big Mac, drop off the Chick-fil-A, make a U-turn and come back home and tend to your father sheep and flock. But the moment he killed Goliath, he could not go back home no more. I don't have time to unpack this, but here's a sidebar. Just discuss it later on. Whenever you kill a Goliath, you will never have to fight a lion and bear anymore. Okay. Don't holler, sit down. I didn't got time to unpack that. Come on. I said whenever you kill a Goliath, because lions and bears are prerequisite to handling your Goliath. You're not ready for Mercedes if you can't shout in a hoopty. You're not ready for red bottoms if you can't shout in sneakers. You're not ready. Come on up in here. You're not ready for a mansion if you can't holler in a 1-bedroom apartment. You're not ready for St. John if you can't shout in Payless. But look at your neighbor and say, before I get there, I'm going to shout where I am. Because it's just a matter of... God. And Saul would not let David go back because whenever you have killed a giant, you ain't got time to be dealing with lions or bears. I remember I was going through something terrible and I called my mentor, Bishop T.D. Jakes. I said, 10 women are suing me in York, Pennsylvania. That was my first church. I had moved the church from the south side to the west side. I said, 10 women are suing me. And Bishop Jakes said, well, what you crying about? I said, you didn't hear what I said. I said, 10 women are suing me. He said, okay, Jazz, what you want me to do about it? I said, I just told you 10 women are suing me. He said, well, Jazz, you ought to thank the 10 women because the 10 women reveal your potential. Because the devil don't mess with nobody who ain't got nothing going on. I got it, my God. Push on your neighbor and say, neighbor, the only reason why the devil is messing with you is either you got it going on or you're about to get it going on. So you might as well shout because you're getting it going on. Because the devil doesn't mess with anybody who ain't got nothing going on. And David could not go back home anymore. And check this revelation. David could not go back home no more. There's confinement, and the confinement is not punishment, it's protection. Okay, y'all missed it. Because remember the last time we saw David, he was at home. And remember the prophet Samuel came to anoint the next king of Israel. And his own trifling daddy didn't believe in him. Samuel said, listen, the king is in your house. But Jesse said, nah. And he brought all the sons. And Samuel said, do you have another son? He said, yeah, I got one, but he a little bit off. He out in the backside of the woods reciting poetry. He's singing song. His own daddy didn't believe in him. And the Lord said, I'm not going to send you back to certain people because they didn't believe in you. God, I wish I need 1,000 people up in here. There's some places God is not going to send you back to because they tolerated you and didn't celebrate you. Oh, who am I prophesying to? You ain't going back to that neighborhood. You ain't going back to that relationship. Yeah, they took you to Punta Cana, but you lost your peace. Can I preach up in here? God said that this season is a cutting off season because everybody who's for you is not really for you. Some people are smiling in your face but trying to stab you in your back. There is oh my God, what did I say? There is, somebody said confinement. Yes, success make you popular. Success brings, success will do that to you. But there is confinement. Somebody say confinement. There is a confinement. There's a restriction. But the second thing, lest I keep you too long, is that success, while it makes you popular and makes you positive in the light of the people, it not only brings confinement, but it brings painful separation. Some of you gonna miss your opportunity to succeed because you can't go by yourself. Painful separation. Everything got to involve somebody. Listen, don't forget the text. The Bible says that Saul would not let David go back home anymore. So there is confinement. And by the way, one of the reasons why he could not go back home is because on his way back home he might have ran into Goliath's brothers. Because remember, there was 5 giants. That's why he went down to the brook and got 5 smooth stones. But on that day, he only killed 1. That means there's 4 of them running wild. I'm trying to help you. And if Saul had let David go back home, he might have ran into a giant, but he had no more stones. So sometimes confinement is not punishment, it's protection. I thank God I ran out of gas when I was trying to do a booty call. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wish I had somebody in here. I thank God. Oh, is there anybody really there? I thank God I couldn't find my key when I was trying to back it up. Hello, somebody. Look at your neighbor and say, you ought to thank God that he let you run out of gas. You couldn't find your key because you would have been pregnant by now. Is there anybody in here who said, I want to thank God for confinement? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was in my church. I thought I had some real people in here. Is there anybody in here who said this shout is not for the steps but the stops? Okay, I said this shout is not for the steps but the stop. He stopped me before I made a mess of my life. He stopped me before I had a nervous breakdown. He stopped me from taking too much shots. Oh, come on up in here. Somebody ought to open your mouth and say, I thank God for my steps and my stops. Who am I preaching to? Who am I talking to? I didn't come to preach to the church people. I came to preach to the real people who said God blocked it, he stopped it, or I would have made a mess out of my life. Success bring confinement. Oh my God. Success bring Success brings confinement. But number two, success brings painful separation. And some of you are having separation anxiety because you thought they were your world. Oh my God. They thought you were everything. You can go nowhere without them. In fact, they told you when you broke up with them, you will never be anything without me. But the devil is a liar. Would you do me a favor and take a selfie and send it to them? God help me. Would you do me a favor? Just take a picture and post it. That's why every time you leave your house, you ought to look good, because you don't know when you're going to run into them to let them know what you meant for evil. God turned it. Come on, organist, get your hands off your head. What you meant for evil, God turned it around for my God. It brings confinement, but it brings painful. It brings painful. He could not go back home anymore. But his brothers are home. His daddy is home. He's comfortable at home. Home is where you want to go, like Dorothy. Just you want to go home. That's why some of you have to have happy hour before you go home. Because home ain't happy. Preach, Pastor Jazz. Can I preach up in here? That's why I'd rather be single and be happy. Y'all ain't ready. I take myself to the Bahamas, Jamaica. Am I talking there? Look at your neighbor and say, home ought to be a happy place. Home ought to be an excited place. You ought to be glad. But Saul would not let him go home. Not Punta Cana, not Jamaica, not Grenada. He would not let him go home anymore because home wasn't healthy. Oh my God, my time. I said home wasn't healthy. Home was abusive. I told y'all I came to this country with $32 in my pocket. I came out of a devastated home. I came out of a broken home. I came out of a jacked up home. I came out of a confused home. Home was not it. So when people talk about home, I don't have no goosebumps. I don't have nothing rolling in my stomach. People talk, everybody coming home for Christmas. We don't want to be home for Christmas. Not in my house. I'm sorry. No, in my home there was violence. In my home there was abuse. You know, I came to this country and I got rid of everything that looked Trinidad. I got rid of my accent. I got rid of my color. I don't even cook any Trinidad food because when I left that home, I left at the age of 14 after being raped on that home. People would say, oh my God, I can't wait to go to your home. I say, help yourself. If I got enough money, I'll drop a bomb and blow up the home. I wish I had some people in here, because every time I think about home, I think about the rape. I think about being molested. Every time I think about home, I think about my mom dying. Every time I think about home, I think about the drama and the bitterness. But I thank God that if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. And that's why next month I'm going back home to tell the devil what you meant for evil. God turned it around for my good. I just need 1,000 people to jump up and turn around, because he said, I'm about to make your home a better place. I need somebody to open your mouth, throw your head back, act like you lost your mind. Somebody shake some key. Tell the devil I'm coming home. And my goodness, there will be joy in my home. There will be peace in my home, because God is redeeming the places that caused me the greatest pain. I just said something. I said God is redeeming the places that cause you the greatest pain. Who am I prophesying to? Who am I preaching to? God is redeeming the places that causes you the greatest. I'm going home. And Saul would not let him go home. There is confinement. Y'all still there? There is painful separation. I got two more. Y'all got time for it? Okay, here's number 3. Oh God, please y'all tell your pastor, y'all the one who went over time because you're hollering. Because you're hollering. Y'all gotta take the fallout from this. Okay, if I never come back, it's because of this moment right here. All of y'all. Here's number 3. Success not only brings confinement, success not only brings painful separation, but success brings out the best and the worst out of people. Oh God, it's right in the text. David is on his way home after killing Goliath. And the Bible said while he's on his way home that the women looked out and they saw David and the men coming back from battle. Now the thing about in that scripture is that in the Old Testament, women never went to battle. So women stayed at home. So the brothers went out to battle. And the Bible said that when the women saw the men coming back from battle, they got a tambourine, they got musical instrument, and they break out in a shout. This is why I love me some women, because women didn't go into battle, but women knows how to celebrate when other people won battles for them. Oh my God, oh my God. Ladies, in this season, you ain't got to cut a nail, you ain't got to mess your hair up, because God's gonna send the brothers to win the victory. But when they're on their way home, I'm gonna need you to shout. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to tell you, if you sitting next to a man pushing his back, say go ahead and kill that giant, go ahead and kill that devil, and as soon as you come through that, guess what I'm going to do? The brothers are going to fight, the women are going to shout. Hello somebody. Now brothers, I need you to fight first. I need you to fight for your family. But ladies, if one of these men in here belongs to you and he came through cancer and COVID, he been to hell and back, I need some women to tear the roof off. I need some women to holler. I need some women to shout. Brothers, you just sit there, but just give us 10 seconds. We got to have a praise party because our men could have died. They tried to kill our men. They killed George Floyd. They tried to kill our men. But if your man is alive, would you open your mouth? This shout is not for Gucci. It's for your man. This shout is not for Louis Vuitton. It's for your man. This shout is not for a car. It's for your man. Would you push on that man's back and say, I got you, I got you, I got you. No weapon formed against you will be able to prosper. No tongue that rises up against you will be able. Push on your neighbor and say, the best thing that I can do after going through something is to praise God. If you haven't been through nothing, just sit there and look cute. But for the rest of us who've been through anything, open your mouth, throw your head back, and holler at me. Come on, holler at me. Come on, scream at me. Let every devil hear you. Let every demon hear you. Let every witch hear you. Open your mouth and give God your best shout. Your best praise. Your best. It brings out the best, but it brings out. Isn't it amazing? In high praise, there's a hater. In high praise, there is somebody who has the audacity to sit there and look at you with your hollering self, saying it don't take all that. There is somebody who's rolling their eyes at you, trying to figure out why you shouting. It's because they don't know your story. God help me. Look at your neighbor and say, if you knew my story, you'll understand why I act the way I act. I should have been dead, should have lost my mind, should have gone crazy. But if you are alive, It brings out the best. Here's the best. Praise. But here's the worst. Saul is planning to kill David. And you thought the enemy was after your stuff. Come on, help me correct this. Look at your neighbor. The enemy ain't after your stuff. He after your praise. Y'all got the wrong neighbor. I said the enemy is not after your stuff. Because he know if you lose the stuff, God can give you some more stuff. What he's after is your praise. Would you give the devil a migraine right here and open your mouth, throw your head back, and let him hear? Come on, let him hear you praise him. Let the devil hear you. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. Let the Redeemer of the Lord say so. The women are worshiping, and Saul is planning. He said, if I ever get the chance, I'm going to pin David to the wall. Oh my God. The success brings out the best, but the success brings out the best, and it brings out. Actually, we say, what side are you on? Does it bring out the best in you? Or does it bring out the worst? Does it bring out a praise, or are you envious? Does it make you shout for the person, or do you try to plot on how you can keep your foot on them? God, help me up in your success. Brings out the best and the worst. And in the midst of high praise, oh my God, in the midst of high praise, the enemy is plotting, my God, because when heaven opens, hell also, my God. Oh my goodness, that's why he said what you bind on earth is also bound in heaven. Heaven opens, but hell is also open. Heaven is happy, but hell is mad. God is celebrating, but the devil is angry. Don't get it twisted, ship, that you would think that the devil is excited by all the stuff that's been happening at the ship since Pastor Reginald Sharp came. Don't you get amnesia to think everybody at the sound of my voice is excited about all that's going on in here. I've come to give you a forewarning that success brings out the best in us, but it also brings out the worst. And that's why you got to kill that mosquito before it becomes a roach. Hello, some. I wish I had somebody look at your neighbor. So you got to shut it up before it becomes a rumor. You got to stop it in its track. Hello, somebody. Saul said, I'm going to pin him to the wall. And that's what success does. Success not only brings confinement and painful separation and brings out the best and the worst in people, but success makes you a target. Look what it says. Saul says, I am going to pin him to the wall. Look at you and say, you are a target. Every time you open your mouth, you are a target. Every time you lift your hands, you are a target. Every time you do a dance, you are a target. Success makes you a target. And I hate to tell you, there's nothing you can do about it. You can change the color of your hair, they still won't like you. You can change your clothes and they still won't like you. You can go to Punta Cana with them and they still won't like you, because success makes you a target. And Saul said, I will pin him to the wall. And the enemy is just waiting for the right time to release the spear. But I hear God saying, no weapon formed against you will be able to prosper, and no tongue that rises up against you will be able to stand. My father told me, Dr. Booth, he said, never end the sermon on a negative. So I just told you the bad bad news. The bad news is you're going to be a target. It doesn't matter where you live, you're going to be a target. It doesn't matter what you drive, you're going to be a target. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, you're going to be a target. Because successful people are always target. I don't know why you're surprised that they're talking about you. It's because you're successful. I don't know why you're crying because they're dogging you. It's because you either got it going on or you don't have it going on. But as you continue to climb the successful ladder, while you may be a target, can I make a recommendation? If you're going to be a target, at least be a moving target. I'll see y'all later, and the Lord bless you real good. But slap five at your neighbor and say, if I'm going to be a target, I'm going to at least be a moving target, because it's hard to pin a moving target. That's why some of you need to stand up right now and just start moving, because you don't know that the enemy is trying to pin you. Somebody ought to start up and just start walking, because what the enemy is trying to do, he's trying to pin you to the wall. But I've come to tell you, just move. And when I move, you move. Just like that. Come on, look at you. Say, when I move, I need you to move. Just like that. Come on, when I move, I need you to move. All the moving people, move to the left, move to the right, move to the front, move to the back. Everybody open your mouth. Somebody scream.